All right, we are back live. We apologize for the technical difficulty. As we mentioned before, so this is WTAJ Plus. It's a little bit of a new concept for us. We said we were the guinea pigs for it. So just bear with us. It might drop out again, but we are working through these technical problems and trying to, get everything back on track.
It's new technology, trying to stream to several different platforms. So we're still working out the kinks. So if it does drop again, bear with us. Again, we're the guinea pigs, so don't yell at us.
Yes. So if you are just tuning in now, I think we should just explain again kind of what WTAJ Plus is. It's a really cool concept. It's basically, news extras for the web. So you get a little bit more of, the WTAJ news personalities, but this time on the web and not so much news.
Yeah, because I'm going to talk more about paranormal, ghost stories, and also some near-death experiences. So not really weather-related at all.
No.
But it's something different. We're trying something new, be a little bit more entertaining. So I won't really talk too much about weather really at all. And then actually a bunch of us have a different kind of little stories. I'm doing more paranormal ghost stories, and my whole idea of this is to talk to you guys, the viewers, get your personal stories. Is your house haunted? Have you seen some really weird things? Is your business haunted, or do you work at a place that you've seen some weird stuff? And I want to talk to you guys. I want you to tell me our stories and just have an open chat with our community. Pennsylvania is supposed to be one of the most haunted states in America, and I've seen a lot of things. Maggie's seen a lot of weird things, and then we are going to discuss about our personal experiences a little bit.
Well, you were talking. You want to go to sites. You want to go to houses. You want to really kind of explore and share the stories of you guys.
Yeah, because we're in the newsroom now. I thought the first episode would keep it easy. I'll talk about a few things I've seen and witnessed, what Maggie's seen and witnessed. But I really want to go out into if you're homes, if you'll allow me, and talk about things that you've seen. I know there's some really weird stuff out there. It could be ghosts, it could be paranormal, near-death experience. I only say that because my mom passed away giving birth to my sister, but then the doctors gave up, but it also came back to life. And so she has a really cool story, and if you have a story about maybe how you passed and came back, or you should have almost died. I know it's a really weird topic. It's not for everyone, ghosts and also stuff like that, but it's something that I listen to. I listen to several different podcasts about the paranormal and ghost stuff. So I thought, hey, let's try it ourselves and try to get Central PA, see what you guys noticed and experienced.
Yeah, interested to hear everybody's stories. Should we talk a little bit just about, a couple other of the shows, just kind of what we're doing?
Yes.
So, mine is Maggie's Moments, so it'll be kind of community-based events, really, fun stories that highlight people in the community. We'll kind of go through the stories, we'll share them with you guys, and then also the comments on Facebook if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, those type of things. If you guys have suggestions of, a moment, we're always looking for those. I know Christy's doing Science with Shields.
Yes.
She was really excited because she's looking for a lab coat, so she's really getting into it.
Yes. I think it's going to be more stuff you can do with your kids. Weather related, but also not weather related. Just fun activities you and your family could do together. I know one that she's always talking about is a twister in a soda bottle. That's something easy, but something like that. Again, this is a different platform. We're trying to do a different thing, have a little bit of fun, and not be so newsy and suit and tie, like a bit more fun and a bit more personable with you guys.
And I know Jordan and Casey are excited for their segment too. They have like 30 minutes to talk about whatever they want, and who knows what that will be like every single week. So you never know what to expect with them.
Yeah, those two are definitely, they work well with each other.
Yes, they're characters.
When we're on commercial break doing the news, especially in the morning, the things they talk about,
they'll make you laugh. And you probably, see that.
See Christy or Maggie laugh quite a bit often. So
absolutely.
It's definitely some fun stuff going on there.
So why don't we dive into today?
Okay, so my first little story, a little background. Myself, I've seen a lot of things from like black shadows. I've been touched, like a white mist, and it's really weird things I really cannot explain. So my family lives back in the Philly area in Horsham, PA, and our house isn't really that old, but we've always had something weird in that house happen. Not just to me, but to my mom, my dad, my sister, and also our dog would even notice a few things, and so that kind of validates it. I always heard that dogs and cats, animals, they can sense other things that we just cannot see. So I guess one of my first stories I can really think of is when I was a little kid, maybe 3 or 4 years old. I used to play in the basement. It was an unfinished basement, but it was like a little toy room. I had toys, TV down there. But my dad had a workshop room where he was a carpenter, so he kept his saws, all of his important stuff that I'm not allowed to touch as a kid. He would keep it closed behind that door. He always said, you can't go in there. And it was closed off from me. I'm watching TV one time and playing with my toys, and then the door started shaking like violently, and the door handle would go up and down violently, like someone was trying to get through that door.
And
like,
you're so little that
I'm
terrifies
three
you.
and 4 years old. I was terrified. I went upstairs crying. My dad's just like, "Why are you crying?" I'm trying to explain like the thing downstairs, the door handle, it's moving. I don't know like, what to do at this point. So he talks to me, and we hold hands. We walk downstairs. I'm like, the door right there, Dad, your workshop room, the door, it's moving. He goes, what do you mean it's moving? He's like, the door handle is jiggling up and down. And so he turned on the light, he opened the door, and of course, nothing is there. And so he's like, oh, you talk me down like a parent would do, like, oh, it's nothing, you know. But he kind of believes that stuff too.
I was gonna say, has he had
He's had
experiences?
several different experiences throughout his life, and also at that same house. This door handle and jiggling happened about 3 or 4 other times, and finally my dad got a camera and put up a camera down there on me and focused on the door. And of course, ever since he put that camera there, nothing ever happened again, at least with that door. And that's just one story that I have dozens upon dozens of really weird things that have happened to me and also my family. So that's probably the first one I can really remember as a child. But everywhere I go, I don't know if it's the house, but I think it's something's attached to me itself. Everywhere I go, there's always something I see or pick up on that's a little weird.
Well, and Mike and I always, whenever we see each other, in passing, it's always like, do you have any stories? Do you have any stories? It's kind of, we mentioned it, previously, but kind of a little bit of background on how we got kind of talking about it. We were back in the studio last summer for our On the Road, and of course we had a little bit of downtime because everybody was out live, so we kind of, got talking because they were at a haunted hotel, I believe, in Bedford. And so we kind of were talking, what do you think? What do you think? And then it kind of just, the conversation was...
just went off.
Yeah.
We started trading stories back and forth about things we've seen and noticed, and just things that are really kind of creepy.
Yeah. So mine are like really kind of creepy stories. So I lived a lot of places as a kid. So in our house in California, the day we moved in, our neighbors came up to us and said, hey, your house is haunted. What a great welcome, right? We were just like, okay.
No food, no pie, welcome to the community. It's your house is haunted.
Yeah, it's like we're the Hook cookies,
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So, kind of from that day on, we didn't really, we weren't really creeped out by it. We were just like, well, there's probably just saying stuff, that type of thing. So my mom was stripping the wallpaper down from my little sister's nursery. She was just a baby at the time. And she worked all day, taking down all of the wallpaper, and she just had kind of like a really creepy feeling. So she had to come and pick us up from school. So before she left, she wrote in black permanent Sharpie marker, praise the Lord. And when she came back after dropping all of us off from school...
How long was she gone for, would you say?
Probably like a half an hour, because the school was pretty close.
Yeah, and no one came into that house that you know
Nope.
of? Just you
Nope,
guys.
it was just us. Walked back in, and it was gone.
Just completely gone.
Completely
Permanent marker
gone,
on
yes.
drywall or on just the wall itself?
Just the
you
wall
can't
itself.
scrub that off either.
No, and that's, and my mom was, so creeped out by it. And then the next morning, actually, it was, even more terrifying because my little sister woke up and there were ants crawling all over her. Yeah, and my mom freaked out. She took her out, put her in the tub. And kind of from that day on, it was just kind of just like, we were always on the watch. We were always kind of just like, okay, maybe our neighbors weren't so far off.
Something
But it makes you start thinking.
It does. It really does. Again, my house back where I grew up in Horsham, I know it myself saw things. We'll see more shadow figures. I know that's a big thing in the paranormal world. But also, just like weird mist and smells too. We would smell quite a bit. So one thing that really kind of caught our attention is, so in our living room where our TV room is, there's if you're looking at the TV, it's to the right, and then you have stairs going up and then stairs going down. Down goes to the basement, up goes into the living room, and then a part of the rest of the house, the living room itself is like an L-shaped couch, TV to your right, and then a bar room to our left. And so we would all sit there as a family, watch TV or a movie or some sort like that, and we would all be facing, the stairs are right here, we'd be facing kind of this way, looking at the TV, and then in the corner of our eye, every so often you see one of our family, like my mom, my dad, or my sister, even myself, look like this, and like like we saw something going up the stairs or across the stairs real quick, and we never really said anything. We kind of okay, that's kind of strange. And then one day we kind of got onto the fact that well, like everyone's doing this, and then I kind of came to like a joke, like something would happen, like a black shadow would run across, and we'll be like, "Did you see that?" My dad's like, "Oh, I saw that." And so it's kind of validating itself. It's not just me,
Right.
or it's not just my dad seeing it. It's a few of us are seeing this.
Right.
And what really kind of made it even stranger was, for those who have a dog, if someone walks into the house or into a room, the dog, if laying down, will get up and
Sure.
either follow them around,
Yeah.
or they pick their head up and follow them across the room. And that would happen all the time.
All
There'd
the
be nothing there every time. And every time something kind of weird or strange happened, especially in that house, in that
Yeah.
living room, we would smell the scent of roses. So like
Really?
a perfume. And so we're like, well, that's kind of, no one has a perfume. You don't have candles lit. No one has, my mom or sister was younger than me. She was 2 or 3.
Okay.
Not wearing perfume. But it smelled like a woman's perfume, being like if someone walked right past you. I'm like, that's so strange.
Wow.
So every time something kind of weird happened in that house, you would have the smell of roses. And then, so we kind of just named the ghost in the house Rose.
It makes sense. It's fitting,
It
right?
is fitting,
Yeah.
yeah. And another really weird and creepy story I could think of is, that's a little bit older. Me and my mom, I think I was in high school.
Okay.
Maybe the beginning of high school. My mom was teaching me how to balance the checkbook and go to the bank. At that age, you gotta learn how to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm in the kitchen. The kitchen has an L-shaped counter. We're on the bottom part of the L, facing the rest of the house. And it's right around the time my dad will come home, 4:30, 5 o'clock or so. And me and my mom are sitting this way next to each other, like me and you.
Okay.
And here's the L-shape right in front of us. And we're both looking down. She's like, oh, you want to bounce the checkbook XYZ, this way kind of. And we're both looking down, and we see this thing is go running across our kitchen. It's probably maybe 20 feet or so. And we both like pick up our head, and we follow it real quick. But it happened so quick.
And you both saw
We
it.
both picked our head up. We didn't say anything, and we followed it, and we were like, "Is that Dad?" Because it kind of looked like someone was either like kind of hunched over and running across.
yeah.
Like my dad would do that sometimes. So act like he either brought something home or trying to scare us. Mm-hmm. And it just happened so quick. But the thing we never even thought about was there was no sound. We just saw this hunched over black figure just run across our kitchen. And we both looked at each other. We're like, it must have been Dad. He's just playing a prank on us.
Yeah.
So she tells me to take this to the bank. I go back. Say 5-10 minutes later, I come back into the kitchen. My mom and dad are talking in the kitchen like nothing was different. I walk in. My mom's like, "Oh, you saw Dad come in when we were doing the checkbook, right?" He goes, "Yeah." Well, I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "Well, he just came home right now."
So it couldn't have been him.
It couldn't have been him. But we both picked our head up and followed this thing across the room. I'm telling you, it looked like someone hunched over, all black though, and just sprint across the room like they're being sneaky, hunched over and running over.
You ever see anything like that again?
Nothing like that in the kitchen, but normally when I do see things, it's like a black figure of some sort. I
Okay.
never see a face. I never see like body parts or hands or legs. It's more like a black mass, but kind of the shape of a human, but not really.
Interesting.
And so it's just weird that me and my mom both picked our head up, followed this thing across the room, looked at each other, and said, "What was that?"
Yeah.
So
Something
like
going
that.
on.
Yeah. And it was just, at that time, we didn't smell roses or anything like that. It was just super strange. It must have been maybe 20 feet away, but it ran across our kitchen, which is not that big, maybe 20, 30 feet.
Now, do you guys still live in the same house?
My parents still live in the same house. They said things have definitely got much, much calmer since I
Okay.
moved out. So they don't really notice too much anymore. So that's why my parents always kind of poked fun at me, like, maybe it's attached to you. And I think so, because when I went to college in Florida, I would see things in my dorm room. I had a house in Florida. I saw things in that house. When I moved into Alabama, saw things in Alabama. I moved to
Really?
Oregon, saw things in my first, second, and third apartment. And then when I moved out here in Duncansville, I still see things. And I do have a really, really creepy story, but I think I'm going to keep that to the next episode. We're going to try this once a week.
Keep it suspenseful.
Yeah, and this one definitely shook me to the core, and it kind of made me feel like a different person for about 24 hours.
Wow,
here in my house in Duncansville. And I even talked to my neighbors like, "Hey, is anything like weird happening there?" Like, no, it's a normal place. And but yeah, I think I'll keep that one in my back pocket for a little bit. as well. But I think you have one more story.
Yeah, so
Okay.
kind of going off of, my little sister, she was a little bit older. We talk about, how dogs are really in tune with
Yes.
it. Well, they say, kids are kind of too.
Yeah.
And so always like trust kids whenever, they see something, say something.
Yep. When my kids do, I'm gonna be on that pretty quick.
Yes.
Like, all right, they're definitely seeing something. Yeah, kids have imagination too.
Exactly,
But you have to be a little curious. That's how every haunted or a scary movie kind of starts too. The kids see something, parents don't believe it, the family's dead.
So my mom we were getting ready to move, so my mom was kind of redoing the bathroom.
Yeah.
So
Same house as last time?
Same house,
Okay.
yes, same house in California. So she had to like get through like kind of like the window in order to get to like the place where she needed to be.
Okay.
In order to kind of put like a tile up in the ceiling.
Gotcha.
And my little sister, she's probably like 4 years old at the time. She comes in and says, Mommy, I don't think you should be doing that. There's somebody who wants to push you. There's someone who wants to push you out the window and hurt you. You should
man.
get down. So
Ooh,
my mom
gosh.
listened
Yeah.
because of course, there have been like, creepy things that were happening in the house and things
Yeah.
like that. But
Ooh.
just, like weird stories like that, that, they could be one thing, they could be another. It
Yeah.
just kind of makes you think.
It really
and I
makes you
think
think.
that's the whole point of this, just
Yeah.
to get you thinking,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Things really, I come from a scientific background, so we can't really, I try to look things in a scientific way, but sometimes you just can't. Quickly up, we're getting the wrap signal right now, but if you guys have any cool stories or things that you've seen, I want to talk to you. Either we can set things up here at the station, or I can come to your house and we can talk about it. But that's kind of my game plan, is to hear the stories in Central PA of this weird, creepy stuff. If you know someone, tag them in this if you can, or share this to them. I want to talk to you. We're probably gonna do this maybe once a week, and then I have tons of stories, and I'll keep coming back and telling my stories if I have to.
Yep, and I know
Yep.
Mike would love to hear.
Yes.
I know all of us would love to hear. Really some fascinating stuff.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining us again. Hopefully, we'll be back next Tuesday.
Yes.
Let us know what you thought about this, and again, any friends, family, or yourself, if you have a creepy story, let us know.
Yes.
So, see you guys.
Have a good day.